Good morning. How's everyone doing? If you guys could use the chat to let me know you can hear me, that would be great. Awesome. Oh, that's a cool little feature, Hunter. We're gonna, oh, good, 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 good. So we're gonna just kind of hang out for just a second, see if some other people come. Feel free to type any questions that you might have. Let me know how it's going, how you're feeling about things. Just kind of anything that you need. I can answer questions throughout the time that we're together. But we're just going to wait a couple minutes. So are you guys getting used to being online? Is it as bad as you worried it would be, or is it okay? All of the above? Good. I'm glad it's not that bad. Good. Okay, well, it's 10 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen, and that takes just a second for me to get it all set up. Whoops, okay. We're going to start in Canvas. I'm trying to get my chat up. There we go, okay. So as every week, if you have a question, don't hesitate to type it at any time. I've got the chat up so I can see your questions as they come up. So don't hesitate if you've got any. Oh, how do you graph on WebAssign? I probably need to know what question you're asking about. Typically with WebAssign, you do points and you pick your tool that you need. Why don't you look at WebAssign right now, pick a problem that you're talking about, and I'll do it because I can pull it up. So I just need to know in general what section or what problem you're asking about. The first one, okay, the first one on what? Chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter, what are we talking about here? Okay, so you get that to me, and we'll talk about that. Let's talk about the week's assignments. All of this first part is everything that we've done since spring break. Okay, everything that we've done since spring break. This is not new material. Okay. So you've watched videos on chapter 5, you've had homework on chapter 5, videos on chapter 6, homework on chapter 6. Last week you did chapter 7. Chapter 7 was not on your quiz, but it will be on your test. And then you had a quiz that was due last Friday. So contact me if there's any issues with this quiz. I haven't gone in and looked to make sure everybody took it or anything like that. So if there's any issues with that quiz, hopefully you've already contacted me. But we can kind of look at that. Now, this week, there's not any new material. All of your homework for chapters 5, 6, and 7 are due Friday at midnight. And your test on chapter 5, 6, and 7 is due Monday at midnight. Or Friday at midnight. I'm sorry, Friday at midnight. The 24th is Friday. Now, your final exam will be due April 30th. And you need to make note that April 30th is a Thursday. April 30th is a Thursday. Now, you want to have your final exam finished by Thursday, because if it's not finished by that time, we have to kind of go into an incomplete. I don't have a lot of wiggle room after that. So be sure that you have that finished by Thursday. Now, if an emergency happened, you know, a car accident, an illness, an emergency room, or something like that, we do have some options after April 30th, but it requires an incomplete and documentation and paperwork and stuff like that. And it's you don't want to go that route unless you absolutely have to. So we do have options, but they require quite a bit. So be sure that you've got your final exam done by April 30th at midnight, and that is a Thursday. That is a Thursday. So be sure that you've done that. Any questions on your assignments for this week? This list, and it's posted in, okay, William, I'll get there. When we go to WebAssign, I'll pull it up and we'll kind of go over that then. Okay, so any questions on your assignments for this week? Okay, so it'll be posted. It's already posted in Canvas right here. I'll also email it out with this video so you can see what you've got to do this week. Now, this is all the different stuff inside WebAssign, okay? Now, I am going to put some extra videos on here that go over this chapter 5, 6, and 7 tests. And the reason that I'm doing that is just so that you can see extra videos, okay? The best test to practice is going to be inside inside WebAssign. That's going to be the best place to practice. But I know that sometimes you like to see extra videos done by me, so I will publish those right here. And you'll have some practice under the final exam. However, when you go into WebAssign, okay, here is your practice test. That is the best thing to do to practice for your test on chapter 6, 7, and 8. You guys have done it before. You've seen the quizzes. You know that the quiz and the test look similar. Okay, so this right here is the best thing to practice for your test, and this is going to be the best thing to practice for your final exam. So it says final exam review. Okay, now your practice test is not timed, okay, and you have 5 attempts when you're doing your practice test. When you take your actual test, you only have 1 attempt and it's timed. Now, I gave you a little bit more time this time. You have 1 hour and 15 minutes. I just want to make sure that you have all of it. But when you're taking your practice test, go ahead and kind of give yourself a time limit so that you are able to know to pace yourself, okay? Now, your final exam will also have a time limit, and this is your final exam review. Now, your final exam is not until next week, but I wanted you to go ahead and have your final exam. And I am going to get to graphing on chapter 7. Any other questions about this right here? Any questions on what's expected of you this week? Okay, let me pull up homework in chapter 7. And you said it's the first one on chapter 7 that we're going to graph. So I think here, so when we plug -2, so 5 times -2, so the first thing that you want to do on that one is solve for y, okay? So let me get a piece of paper so I can solve for y. So we would have -y equals -5x plus 6. Then we're going to divide everything by negative. So we have y equals 5x minus 6. Okay, and then we plug in a -2. So on this first one right here, you're plugging in that -2. Okay, so be sure that you've watched my videos on how to do that. So we're plugging in the -2. Okay, and so then I get -16. So I get -2, -16. Now, when I type that in, does it give me a point? Now, when I do 0, that's going to be -6. When I do 2, is that going to be +4? Yeah, that's going to be +4. Okay, and then when I do 4, I've got 14. Okay, so what you're gonna do now is you are gonna take this line right here, this line, okay, this function is a line, okay, and you are going to graph, I've got 0, -6 as one of my points. Okay, so do you see right there how I've got 0, -6 as one of my points? Then I'm going to do 2, 4 as another one of my points. Okay, then I'm going to connect those points with this line. Well, okay, so now I've got my tool for my line. Ah, why is this not working? Huh. Oh, there's my line. And there's my other. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out. Well, William, apparently this was a very good question to ask. Okay. So over here on the right, I've got my point, 2, 4. Okay, and that's one of my points right here. Okay, and then I'm going to do another point, 0, -6. Okay, and you can see right there that we've got it. Now I want to do a line. And do you see how the line is highlighted? You've got your line highlighted, and we should, well, that's not the, you're supposed to be able to click on the points, and okay, there it is. Now, it's a little bit tricky when you do that, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do it again for you, okay? So, I'm gonna delete these, and it's just a little temperamental, and you kind of have to play with it a little bit. Now, I would be sure that you're doing this on a computer and not a tablet. So be sure you're doing this on a computer. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plot 2 points. I'm gonna plot 0, -6. I have to push the point right there, 0, -6. There's a point. Then I've got 2, 4. So I'm gonna plot 2, 4 right there. Okay, now if you click on these right here, that shows you that you've got the correct points. Now, we can't do -2, -16, or 4, 14, because that's off the grid, because we're only going to 10 and -10. After you've got your 2 points, you're going to make sure the line is highlighted. You're going to make sure the line tool is highlighted. Then you are going to single click. Just click on that first point. Don't hold it down. Just click on it. Then click on that second point, and that will give you your line right there. Okay? Then we're going to click off of that, and that's our line. Okay? So you do have, it's a little temperamental. You have to play around with that just a little bit. Okay? Let me do another one. Okay, and you see how you got all the check marks there. Let's do, now you have to solve these for y first. Okay, you have to solve these for y first. Here, we'll do this one. This one won't be bad. Okay. Oh no, let's do this one because it's a horizontal line. Okay, so this is number 7. This is number 7. Now, y = 2 is a horizontal line at 2. Okay, at y = 2, it's a horizontal line. So if you wanted to, you could put a point here, and you could put a point here. Okay, and you can click on this and check those points. I've got -4, 2, and 3, 2. Okay, this is a horizontal line. So then I'm going to make sure my line is highlighted, You click once on the first point, once on the second point, and then you get your line. Okay? Okay. You have to play around with that a little bit. Play around with that a little bit, and you should get it. Great question, William. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so we talked about what we need for the week. We talked about our assignments. We talked about everything inside WebAssign and videos. What else do you need? Any other questions? Okay, guys. Well, you know that I'm here if you need anything. So let me know what I can do. And we're coming down to the end. You've got a test this week, final next week. We should be in good shape. I have office hours today at 11, and then I'll have office hours tomorrow at noon, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm around 9 to noon every day. Okay? Okay, bye guys, have a good day. It's good to see you.